Peace. What's going on, everybody? Shouts out to the kings and queens, to the gods and goddesses. Feel free to bless my cash app. I appreciate that. What's going on, people? Peace. Chilling, everybody being good. Everybody being good. You know, we gotta stay dangerous. When I say dangerous, and I say stay dangerous, I mean you gotta stay a threat to the system. So, you gotta keep raising the vibration. That's dangerous. But I'm feeling magnificent. How are y'all feeling today? Dropped a lot of little movie posts and TV posts for y'all today. So as y'all can see, TV and the movie symbolism is really my thing. I love it. Find it to be a great middle ground to relay a lot of complex spiritual concepts, because the movies do it so well. I mean, it's they're pretty much stealing the stories anyway. So, you know, but I just wanted to kind of chat with y'all for a minute. I made a little post earlier where I was saying how I just can't give y'all boogeymans. I just can't do it. I'm not built like that. I feel like doing that is just still keeping people tripped up. So I can't do it. So when I see things, or, you know, things that most people take a negative, you know, connotative view to, I flip it like an alchemist and just bring it back full circle. Because at the end of the day, it's all our signs, whether we know it or not. So, you know, I watched the Lightyear. Somebody told me to check out Lightyear when I put up that Wreck-It Ralph post. And I did. I checked out the little Lightyear. I saw the little message in the end. Come to find out, homie was fighting himself the whole time. Older version of himself was Zurg the whole time. So, you know, Toy Story, the whole Buzz Lightyear, it really was him. So he was his own enemy the whole time. Just didn't know. Just was a future version of himself. So it was kind of, in a sense, the greatest enemy you ever gonna face is the one within you. That's what I got from it. I was kind of in and out of the little movie. I was watching it with my kids. But that's what I got from it. You know. Yes, the man who fell to earth is dope. I gotta watch. I haven't even seen the last episode yet, y'all. So I gotta check the last episode. But it's like the Anunnaki story, pretty much. It's really it's really dope. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out. The Man Who Fell to Earth, for sure. That one is heavy. So look, y'all, what y'all wanna build on? What y'all want to build on? Any current events we want to talk about? I really don't like talking about current events. I really don't, because I know, you know, but, you know, everything has a lesson in it, you know? Everything has a lesson in it. At midnight, I know I told y'all I was putting out the Doctor Strange breakdown. So I got it already set on the channel. So it'll be ready at 12. So, and in that, we're talking about the third eye. We're talking about dreams. We're talking about the multiverse. We're talking about the divine feminine. We're talking about soulmates. A lot of people didn't catch the soulmate reference in a Doctor Strange. But it was. You know, Christine was his soulmate. That's why they could never be together. But she was always pushing him to be a better version of himself. Or at least he wanted to seek out being better because of her. It's transformation still, but maybe not necessarily meaning to actually be together. So a lot of people get that kind of mixed up, soulmate, twin flame. It's kind of hot topics amongst conscious people, but there's a little difference. This soulmate, you might not be with a soulmate, but they are definitely going to transform you. Heard about the movie Black Balloon? I have not heard about Black Balloon. I'm not familiar with that one. You're going to have to tell me what Black Balloon is all about. I put up a Dr. Sleep preview. It was like a little clip. Y'all got to check that movie out. If you familiar with it all, the whole adrenochrome thing, then you got to watch Dr. Sleep. You just have to watch it because it's blatant about it. It's blatantly telling you why it happens. It's a sequel to The Shining. So most people didn't know that it was a sequel to it, but Stephen King is always written on some next level type of stuff. Between it, if you seen it, like if you notice the monster in it, right? He comes back every 27 years and eats kids. It's like Cronus or Saturn. So he got the Dark Tower. Like Stephen King be on it. It's a lot of it's in all of these movies. See, my theory is a lot of these writers, a lot of these screenwriters are occultists. So when you deal with certain occult information, occult libraries, because these different organizations or brotherhoods or what have you, they have different stories, different myths, legends, or what have you. And I believe that they have access to these stories, and they just tell us these same stories over and over. Oh yeah, Black Phone. I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely want to see that. I'm gonna see that. I definitely want to see Black Phone. And yeah, it's like telling us. They just be telling us what's going on, man. Moon Knight was good. I see that. Yep, I did my last podcast was on Moon Knight. I haven't done the podcast in over 2 months. So the podcast is like officially kind of retired at the moment. I'll bring it back when I make it visual. So probably fall time, we'll probably get the Black Occultist show back up and going. Yep, George Lucas. Yeah, it's coded messages because think about it. When you go into a movie theater, right? Or in any type of theater, they're made like a dome, right? Because it's symbolic to your mind. So when you go in, the lights go down. It's like entering your mind. It's entertainment. So it's entering your mental. So all these things, these symbols, we live in a culture, a society that no longer, or at least it's not openly discussed about the meanings of symbols or how strong, how powerful symbology is. So they repeatedly feed us these symbols to give our subconscious directions or instructions. But when you don't know, you don't know. It's like Inception. They went into dude's mind to plant ideas, right? To steal information. It's the same thing. We just have to know how to see it, But that's really how it is. It's just like Inception. So everything that they do is to mind control you. Literally everything, even down to the food that you eat, everything is making you more susceptible to accepting whatever these ideas is that they need from you. Because you got to remember, you the battery. So they need you to bring all this into fruition. You have to be the one to do that. You the battery. You make all this go. That's why you have to believe what you believe. That's why you have to be fed what you're fed. It's just like the Matrix, like being plugged up. See, we get mixed up thinking mind control is just coercion, but it's not. It's not. It's mostly not coercion. It's subtle. You don't even know that it's happening. Just like in the movie Focus. You seen the movie Focus? How subconsciously the whole time they was telling dude about the number. It's the same thing, yo. It's the same thing. They just playing with your mind because they need you to see things a certain way. So, that's just how I really see that. And it is like spell casting. It is. I mean, because like I said, as long as we are not aware of how it's happening or what's happening, you just falling victim to it. And so when so many things happen, a lot of it is to tug at your strings, to make you emotional. That's why I put up that Matrix video, because it's to make you emotional. So it's easier to control you. It's not even about the facts. It's about making people feel good. Think about it. People don't care about the truth. They just want to feel better. They just want to get more of what they feel. That's why misinformation is so rampant, because people want to feel good. So, and it's like, it's a mindset thing. It's like not really being concerned about what you call your God or what you call your devil, just as long as you have one. Because as long as you do, that power is going out of you. You're gonna give that power away. This is what it's about. It's all about energy. Your energy is currency. What you pay attention to is where your energy is going to flow. It's the science of it. You know, it's the science of it. And that's why I say you gotta watch the movie Dr. Sleep. Because it breaks it down for you for real. Because kids are the purest element. They pure spirit. They are the closest form from coming from spirit. See, by the time you get an adult, all that shit is gone. Because you've been beat down and plugged in and given all this that you have to get for society now. You're not just living no more. You're a child. You're just being who you are. You're just being yourself. When you become an adult, you got all type of responsibilities that they give you now. Now you got to go to work. You got to do all these things now. So all this is to occupy you and to get you away from your greatest work, which is always going to be yourself. It's always going to be you. The development of you is the greatest business of your life. The development of your character. See, when you look at the zodiac wheel, every house in the zodiac is a different aspect of what you got to deal with in life. So all of those things, all of that correlates. So when you look at, when you look at a zodiac wheel, you look at the midhaven or the 10th house, which is supposed to be the highest point in your chart. So to look at that is to know that, okay, so this is how energy is exerted in my when I'm in the public, in my highest position in the public, how the public views me. It's just about understanding energy. All these things are tools. So, and my thing is trying to provide the best way to communicate what I know. Because I always find myself at this crossroad, because like I say, I don't want to contribute to the fear vibration. I don't want to give y'all nothing to fear. I more rather give you the knowledge to understand, because fear and understanding can't occupy the same space. And most people fear because they lack of understanding. So if people can understand, then they can break past barriers. They can elevate. So I feel like knowing what I know, well, I can't do that, because I know I'm going against everything I know from the depths of myself. So if I know there's something that really helped me transform, I can't do that to y'all. So when people ask me certain little things, I'm going to take a certain approach with it, because I can't give it to you like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, just like I did the Satan get behind me, because that's our biggest, the boogeyman itself. It doesn't, like I say, it doesn't matter what you call it. You know, it don't matter if you call it the devil. It don't matter if you're fearing the devil. It don't matter if you're fearing the government. It don't matter if we talking about CERN. It really, because the whole thing is to get you to fear. Because if you fear, you're going to hold yourself back. You got to understand how your melanin work. You know, you got to understand how your magic element work. And I'm not saying melanin to say it, just talking about your skin. I'm not really just speaking on it. I'm talking about this as a spirit molecule. I'm talking about it from a different perspective. So we talk about, so when I said that Satan get behind me with that whole video, that's an understanding when he's saying a concentrated melanin. He's talking about an extensive, like, being in the back of your head. If you look at the brain, your medulla oblongata, this is also known as your reptilian brain. So this is your lower brain. So a person that's operating from their lowest vibrational frequency is operating from their reptilian brain, because they just surviving, because it's unconscious. Your brain is unconscious in what it does. Everything that happens for you unconsciously goes on from this part of your brain. Your breathing, your heart beating. You don't tell your heart to beat. You don't make your heart beat, right? It beats on its own. It beats in its own rhythm because it comes from back here. So, as the energy comes up, right? Inside your brain, when you look up the optic nerve, right? I'm going to give this to y'all. Matter of fact, let me share this shit. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show it. Alright, I'm going to show y'all something. This right here, right? This is the Lucid Procedural, right? So this is the symbolic symbol for Lucifer. I wish I could make this smaller, right? So when you look at, let me show y'all something. Now when you look at the brain, right? And when you see the way the optic nerves work, remember this is talking about your eyesight. So we talking about light. So now you suppose the ancients talked about you having a third eye, which is to have so you can see spirit. So to see what you can't see, to see what's not there, to see what is hidden. So when you open that third eye, right? When that light opens in that third eye, that's the light bearer. That's Lucifer. That's what they was referring to. So I said all that to say that these things that have been given to us in this manner for us to be fearful is so we do not understand our ancient language. So we do not understand the way that we've always viewed things. It's so many different things. It's just like, you seen Star Trek? You know, the ship that they be in, they be going warp speed. You ever looked at it? Like, when I was in chiropractic school, right? We had to work on cadavers. So I seen the inside of every part of the body. And when you see the brain, like your hypothalamus, it looks like that ship. So that got me thinking way back then. Damn, was this what they was talking about when they talking about going into hyperspace? See, it's deep when you really think about it, because we're trying to interpret a language that we do not know. We're trying to interpret from a way that we don't understand anymore. See, we don't get the way they was describing things. You understand what I'm saying? So when they said they worship the sun and they draw a circle with a dot in the middle, right? Why draw it with a circle with a dot in the middle? Why? What does that mean, yo? So if the sun provides all life, because if we lose the sun, right, there's no more life. No, there's no more life. So it's just acknowledging the power of that sun, but also understand that you have an inner sun. You have an inner sun within you that has to do with your will. That circle with that dot on it also represents focus. So when you can focus your will on some shit, you can bring that into manifestation. That's what that's really talking about. You have a burning sun within you. It's your solar plexus. Your solar plexus chakra. That's your will. Where there's a will, there's a way. Follow the yellow brick road. You follow the yellow brick road, they was going to see the wizard in the Emerald City. It's literally the green chakra. So it's literally talking about walking up. It's literally a story about the Kundalini rise. Literally, she goes from a place of black and white. She wants to go over the rainbow. Yo, Wizard Eyes got to be one of the deepest movies ever. And it's been coming on forever. Exactly. Solar because it's your own solar system. Everything is a projection out of what's in. It's a projection out. You feel me? So even that, yes, the scarecrow, the lion, yo, all these are symbols. Even Toto the dog. And they told you at the end the wizard was nothing but an illusion. So the Illuminati, all that. The only way for them to have the power is for you to believe they got the power. Because really, you got the power. You Dorothy sitting there, you got to shoot. All you gotta do is click your heels 3 times. That's all you gotta do is click your heels 3 times. You already got the answer already. But we don't know. See, that's the clue. We don't know no more. We have forgotten. And so that's why it's always in the movies, man. It's always in the movies because it that's just how it has to be presented to you in symbol form. See, we've always told stories. A story is the greatest way to simplify a complex spiritual concept. That's all it is. All mythology is, I heard once, I believe Kabbalah, all mythology is African physics. That's all it is. It's mythology. It's a story of a people, of a time, or possibly a place that no longer is no more of where we may have come from. Remember in Inception, what did they say? What did he say when they dropped to the third level? He said, you gotta be careful. You can't create. He told the girl when he taught her to create, he said, you can't create from memory. You will forget. You can't create from memory. That's what we did with them damn pyramids. We was creating from where we came from. And forgot we was in a dream. Forgot what we were. We forgot this is an illusion. You can't create that way. It's because what would happen? They will forget that they was in a dream. So in the end, they end up having to die to get free. See, that's how he knew Inception would work. Because he planted the seed in her mind that you got to die to be free. And it's really true. In a very occult sense, that's the absolute truth. Death is the ultimate liberation. Now, I'm not telling nobody to go out here and die. I ain't saying that we just out here, yearning for death. That's not the case now. But we understand that our spirit, our soul, our limitless self is bound and trapped inside this physical. See, that's why the Gnostics always saw the physical as some bad. Exactly. That's why we can't make them pyramids now. We can't make them now. We don't know no more. We pretty much, and we like to say we them people. We not them people no more. We not. So it's like, you gotta see it. It's all in how you really see it. Earth is a hologram. I really can see that. And your mind being a projector. I've explored that as well, as far as Earth being a hologram. And I've read this holographic universe. So if you never checked that out, this holographic universe is a dope book. I mean, this thing can get real scientific. People look at this and be like, this a lot of pseudo shit. But no, it's not. No, it's not. You understand, they study voodoo in quantum physics. This is the highest science that there is, and they're studying it. And you want to say that it's some pseudo, or whatever the case may be, but they studying it. The further along they get in physics, the more they connect to what the ancient mystery people was talking about. The further along they get, it's like, well, that's what the ancient people were saying. They're just now getting their way of providing their evidence. So it's all in how you look at it, yo. Yup, they study astrology. They absolutely do, yo. They do. They study this, and they trick us into thinking that's bull. Be scared. Nope. I'm trying to. If you want to know what's going on, if you really want to know, you gotta get in it. You gotta look into it because it's hidden from you for a reason. It just simply means hidden. It's simply, occult just means hidden, y'all. That's it. So you have to understand. This is an institutionalized society. So all information passes through authority figures that is approving what you learn. And you learn these things without question. See, I made that Kyrie. See, Kyrie trigger a lot of people because he spoke against NASA. You can't speak against NASA. You can't do that shit. You do that, that's a different level. That's a different level of questioning authority. You're not supposed, see, think about it, you're not supposed to question authority. You can't question what's unquestionable. How dare you question if the earth is round or flat? Well, damn, how can you not ask, have you ever seen it? Have any of us ever seen it? Because all we've seen is what they told us. But so now what everything they tell us is true. So this is a definitive absolute fact because they say that it's true. See, the whole point of it ain't even about if you believe the earth is flat or not. It's about, can you question that shit? Can you question it? Because if you can question it, you gonna question everything. Anything that don't make sense to you, you're gonna question. And that is the mentality that's demonized, bro. You can't question nothing. The minute you do that, you stepping outside. Because the true definition of people that's occults are rebels. They're mavericks. Like, that's what it means to literally rebel. To literally rebel. So when you go against that, when you go against what's set out here, what's set in stone, you on a different thing. It's a whole nother different level. So, you know, that's the thing. When it comes to like a NASA, you can't question NASA. You can't do that. No, you can't do that, bro. Ask B.O.B. You can't do that. Because that's a solidified institution in this society. You question it, you question all of reality. You question all of reality, because when you study what was in the occult stuff, you see why they kicked that shit out. Because a lot of this occult stuff a lot of the conspiracy stuff is in the occult stuff. So if they was to continue to allow that information, we wouldn't have progressed with colonialism the way they have. All the way up to the industrialist period and all of that. You got to remember, there was a whole reconstruction period of history. Your whole history was reconstructed. And they literally added 1,000 years. Yo, I promise, do the research. They literally added 1,000 years, yo. They added this shit. History ain't what you think it is, man. It's not what you think it is. And if you really know, everybody gonna question. I don't care what you look like. You gonna be up in arms if you really knew what it really was. So that's why they have to make people be crazy or, you know, discredit them. They have to do that because you can't take that path. Because that's why they're gonna take away everything material from you. Because most people stuck at the root. If you can't, so most people ain't gonna do some shit because they can't survive. How many people done horrible shit all in the name of they was doing their job? How many people? That's because people need to survive, yo. They're stuck at the root chakra. They stuck at the base. Stuck in shit. They just stuck. And to elevate, it take higher frequency to elevate. So a lot of people are just on that wheel running. And I see it, and it's sometimes it's nothing you can do about it. You gotta let people be who they are. This is how it is. So it can get tricky. It can get tricky. You know what I'm saying? It can get real tricky. So you gotta, the ones that know, you gotta get with them like minds, because still sharp and still, we all downloading. We all getting different information. We all are, because our DNA, none of us are the same. Not contrary to popular belief, we don't all have the same story. You know? So, and if you find yourself, you know, getting a lot of, you know, aha moments, having a lot of, you know, realization, that's just your mind making neural synapses connect that wasn't always there before. So now you're seeing things that you couldn't see before. You're seeing things in a way that you never saw it before, but it was always there. But now that you're open to it, now it flows. It's like with the glasses on in the conspiracy movie joint. You can't take them, and you can't take them off. There's no going backwards. And I feel subconsciously, that's probably why a lot of people don't take this path. Because there's no going back. It's like you can't be in that 12th grade, think you're going to go back to kindergarten. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. So it's all in how you look at it, but I really see a lot of this in the movies, and so you just gotta see it with the eye to see what's going on. Oh, it's no knowing it all. I don't think we ever gonna know it all, yo. I don't think it is, man. I think this is just some forever learning. Some forever learning. It's infinite. I've learned enough to know I know nothing. I learned enough to know I know nothing. I probably forgotten more than I done learned. That's how much is out there. So, you know, you can never really know it all. But it's important to know that you don't know it all. See, a lot of people are just closed off and they don't care and have know about what they don't know. It's different when you don't know what you don't know. You feel me? See, I'm aware that it's probably it's infinite amounts of what I don't know. I'm humble enough to the knowledge to be aware of it. But you got a lot of people out here that's ignorant and feel like they know it all. They got all the answers. They read one book and they got all the answers. I ain't knocking how you live, but you know, you you know, you might could learn something if you be a little bit more open to some other things. You know? So I was never one to, you know, like, I don't have no problem saying, I don't know, man. If you know, tell me, help me know. Tell me where to look. That's all how you look at it, but, you know, yep, we constantly learning. Yep. No. What's that? I don't know about that one. I kind of look at it like triple stages of darkness. You know, you don't know what you don't know. Yep. So, you know, man, it's a lot out here. It really is, and it can get scary too. It's a scary thing because it's nothing of like we've been taught. So we gotta be patient with those who aren't on this path, because that 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. It's fear, and we all been there before. You know, that's what pushed me. Fear was a catalyst for me. I was tired of being fearful. I no longer wanted to be fearful. See, in my youth, I sought out answers in the church in my youth because that's where everybody was going. So I was like, okay, well, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. You know, maybe this is where the answers is at, you know. But it wasn't, you know, so I kept looking, you know. So it kind of is what it is. I appreciate that. I appreciate all y'all, my followers. I appreciate y'all giving me the 10K. That's a big thing for me. I've been so nervous about speaking. Just always kind of been a thing for me, working through expressing myself from growing up not feeling heard. So I appreciate y'all, you know, helping me to feel comfortable to share that part of myself, you know. Right, not being afraid, kill Freddy Krueger. Exactly. And think about it. The thing about it, man, like, the thing about it, and I like that they put dude that played Freddy Krueger in the Stranger Things. That was a nice ode to him. But I think about this often, like that whole Freddy Krueger, Jason, you know, Michael Myers, that whole horror run, you know. And I did a podcast on this. I'll post it later for y'all to check it out, where I talk about like the number 13 and Jason, because we coming up in the Jason months, the July, August, September, October, November, them your Jason months, because we're going into the darkness, we're going into the dark side, you know, the rise of the darkness. So, you know, it's all been a lot of propaganda to push, because this information has been prominent over here in the Americas, you know, and they've been trying to keep it concealed and pushed off, you know, as far as everything occult, giving it different things. But there's a lot of propaganda. See, my point is, a lot of the things that we say is propaganda. If you haven't done research for yourself on something and you just regurgitate what's most commonly said about a thing, then it's most likely a propaganda. You know, it's most likely an agreed idea, you know, about something or someone, right? So these propagandas have given us these negative, you know, connotations about what, you know, about these things. And I get it, because they've been perverse and been used against us so much. But it's kind of like a gun, right? Like, you know, a gun in itself isn't harmful. But depending on who has that gun, whose hand that gun is in, it could be very potentially dangerous. So sometimes some information in some people's hands can be just as dangerous. So, you know, just kind of how it is. Jason starts in 2 hours. Yup. Not being afraid was Freddy weakness. It's all about the fear, just like with it. Same thing with it. You know, that's like what I was saying. That's Saturn. That's a representation of Saturn. Like, to say that they eat kids every 27 years, that's classic mythology. So what are they telling us? What does Saturn represent to your psychology? What does Saturn represent to your subconscious? Saturn is your inner authority. So when you looking at your astrology chart, or when you studying your astrology sign, where Saturn is, or what your Saturn is in when you were born, natal, all that, so to speak, Saturn represents your authority. So it represents your inner authority. So it's like the parent in you. So you know when you say, damn man, I need to do better than what I'm doing. You know, I gotta stop eating such and such and X and X, you know, that type of thing. That part of you, that's Saturn. That's that parent part of you. That part that, you know, wants you to grow up. That part that's making you responsible. So when you can understand that astrology is just describing energies, and it's talking about you know, a certain astrologic to your nature, a certain way that you might be patterned, then it's a means for you to see that tool and how to break those patterns and how to overcome certain obstacles or certain weaknesses that you might have based on your chart. It's like a chemistry. It's almost like chemistry. It's like a mixing of different things, and this is what you get. So this shit is a science, man. I be seeing myself like a science. I don't know about y'all, but I see myself like a scientist when I be dealing with this information.
It's almost like a chemistry.
You know? That's how I be looking at it. So, but I'm just rambling, man. I don't really have a means of what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling, just talking to y'all. So whatever y'all want to build on, just let me know. Who that? What's up?
It's chemistry.
But you know, man, I appreciate y'all. I absolutely do. So y'all let me know anything y'all want to talk about. Somebody want to hop on with me and we build. You know what's good, y'all. What's up with CERN, man? I've been asked about CERN like 4-5 times, bro. If I'm really being honest, I really don't know, because I kind of fell out of looking into CERN. I don't know. I don't really look at it like that. I don't know, man. I don't be wanting to give these people nothing. I don't want to give them nothing. What I mean by that is, I don't want to give them no energy. You know, like, I don't want to give them nothing. Not to say that it's not, that they don't have their agendas, but I feel like they some weak motherfuckers. I just don't feel like they got the power like that. I feel like they need us to give them that shit. I don't know, but it's a lot to really look at, man. It's a lot to really consider. What y'all thinking about this sun thing? Because I went outside the other day at 8:57 and it was light outside. It was light out there. And it's been super, super hot. Do y'all really, what's going on with the sun? I've been hearing about the gamma rays, about it being more. What's up? What y'all think about that? Yeah, they've been doing it though. They've been doing these things though. And honestly, I think it only makes sense to think that they can make these machines and this technology, because if the ancient people said that we could get out here and control the weather, then there absolutely has to be something that you can make that control the weather in the same sense. So I just think that that's the thing. Just like I think a computer is made because your mind is a computer. So of course, you know, so that's how I see it. Yeah, they killed, yep, the farms and all this with the food, everything going on with the food. I don't know what's up with it. They definitely got something in the works. But like I said, it's always to pull at our energy. Because they keep telling us something is coming. They keep telling us this and this. So you got to be prepared. Be prepared. Get your water. Get your non-perishables. You know what I'm saying? It's just been years since I looked in the CERN, you know? Oh, you talking about with the food? Yeah. It's a lot of stuff with the food, yo. Like, they've been killing off chicken farms, burning down food storage places. It's been happening a lot. Like, it's happening at a ridiculous amount. Like, it's not a coincidence. Like, I refuse to think it's a coincidence. You know? The ozone is thin. Yeah, I think, yep. But, you know, I'm kind of with Bobby Hemmett, man. This shit is over. I kind of feel like that, man. I feel like it's over, yo, because this shit is supposed to always have been in prophecy, yo. Now I can't, not this. Now I'm just the messenger. That this prophecy was always gonna be this way. It's always destined to be, yo. Yep, them cows.
If you've ever used any of these conventional systems.
So, you know. But aside from all that, though, you wild. But aside from all that, though, what else we talking about? Now, yep, we definitely are in the end times. It's the end for somebody. I agree. It's the end for somebody. I don't know who it is, but it's definitely the end for somebody. But it's being prolonged, though. It's definitely being prolonged. I think they're just trying to pull it out, trying to drag it out for as long as possible.
Take as many niggas as they can.
Take as many as they can. Keep it going for as long as possible. Yep. The walking trees. Oh no, what's the walking trees? Now I've looked into the Petri chip trees. As far as trees being alive, you know, communicating with you, talking to you, but not the walking trees.
Look at that shit.
If you've ever used any
Walking trees.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that one.
Something that's supposed to build on.
No, but if y'all never tried like hugging trees, man, and talking to trees, you should try that. It's very grounding experience. It's very healing, and you don't know how, you know, tree might have some answers for you if you know how to listen. You know, yep, hugging a tree, yep, it is very beneficial. Like I said, it's very grounding. It can help you ground your energy. And another, I mean, the thing about being grounded, the most important lesson I tell people, like, because it's different things. You don't have to do just one thing to be grounded. Grounding is being present. So anything that you do that puts you in your body right now at that particular moment, that can be cooking. And see, also when you're cooking, you're dealing with food, you're dealing with earth, you're dealing with earth elements still. So you're cooking, you're present because you need to be present in the cooking of the food. It's gardening, you know, just using your hands, exercising, anything putting you present in your body will ground you, which is important for your root chakra. So people who do have issues with their root chakra, check out that last video that I posted called Split. Who are we today? I'll talk about that. Hug trees on shrooms. Yep, the psilocybin. Now shrooms. If we talk about shrooms and psilocybin, man, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother thing when you get to talking about shrooms and psilocybin and how that's viewed. So, but definitely very strong spiritual components in psilocybin. Dang, that's dope. I was just looking at the walking trees in Ecuador. See, in this Ecuador. See, I got my suspicions about things over here in this part of the world. That's true. People not connected as a nation. That's true. That's it, and it's a lot of unpacking. It's a lot of unpacking with this. So most of these things have so much to unpack. You know, like even down to, man, that whole abortion thing, like, and there's so much stuff to unpack in all these things, yo. It's just multifaceted. It's layered in so many ways, yo. About the impact. Lord of the Rings had the talking trees, Middle Earth. Yep, I remember that in Lord of the Rings, yep. They had it too in, what's this shit? Chronicles of Narnia, you know, when they went through the little wardrobe, they had the talking lion and all of that. I love them sci-fi fantasy movies and stuff. Them my joints. I love those. I love them. Because they're the greatest. They're telling you the greatest story ever told. It's the inner journey. Every story that's ever told is always about the inner journey. Every time. Every time. It's the greatest story ever. Yep. Oh yeah, group. It is like group. Probably who group based off of, to be for real. So, you know, it's a lot, man. It's a lot we can unpack. It's a lot we can talk about. So, but yeah, the Doctor Strange video, I already got it set to upload at 12. So y'all take a look at that. It's not long. It's pretty straight to the point. It's like 25 minutes maybe. So it's not an in-depth frame by frame, you know, scene by scene breakdown. But, you know, it just touches on some of the things that's in it, you know. Yep, Back to the Future. I feel like I would love to just do a series talking about movies and TV shows. Like, I would do that. I don't know if y'all watch Westworld, but watch Westworld. That is my show, y'all. Watch Westworld. I feel like Westworld breaks down the Akashic Records the best way. For me, like, from the way I got it, the understanding, the Akashic Records made it so simple for me. It just made it make sense. Like, in a tangible way. Like, seeing it in a computerized, digital way. Like, understanding it as data. You know, like, it was deep for me. But that just dropped. That just came back on. So if y'all watch Westworld, check out Westworld. Check out Westworld. It comes on HBO. HBO is pretty good at those type of shows. They got Westworld. They got Watchmen. They got Lovecraft Country. They got His Dark Materials. If you never seen His Dark Materials, it's next level occult too. His Dark Materials was really, really dope. We seen Game of Thrones. It has its moments. You know. But I love the shows, the TV breakdown. American Gods on Stars is a good one. I talked about The Man That Fell to Earth. Definitely got to check that one out if you have not checked that one out. It's a lot of shows out here. I'm going to be giving y'all a lot of shows and TV, you know, analogies. It's kind of my thing. But, you know, yep, they've been putting it in our face the whole entire time. Yep, and I was thinking about, like, with the Wizard of Oz, with how old that movie is. See, so I'm about to be 35. So me growing up, we had like the little regular basic basic TV stations. So once a year, every year, they would play the Wizard of Oz. Once a year, every year, always. So we always watch Wizard of Oz one time a year. And just thinking that in my later years, they made it a ritual almost, showing us this movie every year and how profound and everything that was in that movie. So it was just kind of dope to me. That's why I want to get into making movies and making shows. Like, I want to get into it because I want to do it. I want to put subliminal messages out there too. I want to do it, you know. Supposedly. So, Kingsman is the best movie that breaks down brotherhoods to me. How they came into being social secret societies. The Kingsman, at least in the means of how they want you to look at it on both sides, both in what's seen as good and bad. The Kingsman. That was a good joint, the Kingsman. I did a long little breakdown on that joint, the Kingsman, yo. Yeah, that one was pretty straight. But yeah, y'all might look up and see me for real now. I might hop up in Hollywood one day. And for real, I tell people all the time, man, y'all gonna be talking about me too, the same way y'all talk about these other people. Because I'm going to put the same shit out there. I'm going to put it out there for y'all. I'm going to tell y'all what it is. It's just, I think it's important. That's what I'm here to do. If I can see it that way, then that's something for me to do. That must be what I got to do. You know? I think we all have our own unique perspective that we are supposed to give to the world. So, that's mine, yeah. Yep, they tell the truth, but it make it fantasy. And then tell you the news is the real stuff. And that's what they be pulling your strings with, the news. You know, the current events, showing you trauma, you know, triggering your DNA to get you to be scared, be fearful, you know, get you moving, to get that energy. That's why I see it as. You on season 2 of Westworld. Alright, yeah, it gets crazy too. Sometimes it's a little hard to follow, but if you stay with it, because that's how them HBO shows are, it's full circle. It's straight nasty. Westworld is straight nasty. Presentation documentaries. I guess I could say that I do somewhat. I could say that I do know about presentation documentaries. I could say that. The Alien Residence. I haven't seen that one. Alien Residence. I haven't seen that one. I think I might check that one out. Y'all say watch Utopia too, y'all. Watch Utopia on Prime. That joint is good. Watch Utopia. The Purge movies. I feel like that's predicted programming. That's what they want to come. That's what a vast group of people want to happen, and what they are pushing for. So I feel like that's projected programming with the Purge movies. That's something that they want to manifest. At least a particular group, somebody want to manifest it, you know. A lot of people keep talking to me about Dark. I'm gonna have to try it again. I think it's because it's you know, foreign. I can't get into it. I'm gonna try it again, because too many people keep telling me this about Dark. So we're gonna have to try Dark on Netflix. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again, because I remember when I first started watching Game of Thrones, I thought the same thing. It's like, yo, I can't watch Game of Thrones. And who would have knew? Who would have knew? Because that show had me. It had me for a little while. They got canceled. Lovecraft Country was phenomenal, man. She's phenomenal. Yep, that HP Lovecraft. I feel like the sister that wrote it, I feel like she probably was watching some Bobby Hemmett at some point, because you know Bobby Hemmett is real. He has a lot in that Lovecraft lore, and talked about it a lot, and I never heard nobody else talk about it in that way but Bobby Hemmett. And when she did that Lovecraft Country, it was like the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen put together in a show. I was surprised they let this show air, even the season that it aired. I'm super shocked that it made it one season. Powerful show though. Powerful show. Powerful show. Very powerful. Them better be some fireworks. Yo, what? Them better be fireworks.
Let me go see.
Them better be fireworks. It's people wilding with the fireworks around. It's fireworks, man. Somebody doing fireworks, man. It's fireworks, man.
That makes me think so. Why?
It was fireworks. The 4th of July is coming, you guys.
Okay, I don't really care.
Yeah, y'all, my kids don't know nothing about no holiday.
Mom, everything here, almost everything here, that says 2023. 2023. Tooting is here, says 2023.
Cause those are new ones, y'all. Go ahead.
2023. Ah, you're pushing. Mom.
I feel like, but yeah, he probably do. Jordan Peele.
Mom.
What's up?
There's a new Minecraft thing coming out next year. It's called Minecraft. It's a new Minecraft show coming out.
Okay. All right, y'all.
Finishing up the live.
Yeah.
Oh my God! She kicked me in the.
I don't know about this new one though. The Nope.
All right, bro.
I don't know about Nope. I don't know, because we coming up in the either we're about to start really seeing aliens, you know. Thought about doing a presentation. I thought about it. The only the only documentary that I've considered doing is about genealogy. It's the only one. As far as like documentary, like an actual documentary, like diving into genealogy, why it's important, real history in America, indigenous history in America. So that's something.
You was talking about doing a horse documentary.
Yeah, but that's still a part of my genealogy,
Yeah,
though. Like, because of my family, you know, my family stemming from horse breeders, stuff like that. Farming. I wanted to talk about farming. So yeah, I have thought about doing a documentary, but only in the sense in that. But I mostly want to do I think I want to write like cosmic horror, cosmic sci-fi, or sci-fi fantasy types, because they stick. You know, they inspire, they motivate, they empower. You know. Yeah. Yep. So I do have that whole concept for a documentary in mind. So if I ever get into that movie making aspect, which I'm considering, that would be a documentary I would definitely do. I would definitely do that. Aliens. Y'all want to talk about aliens? Y'all want to talk about aliens? There's definitely aliens, y'all. It's definitely aliens. Absolutely aliens. It's absolutely different races of beings. I just think that. I just think that, for real. There's no other way to look at it. And I think that it's different ways you can look at it. Maybe as far as, what was the show? I'm going to tell y'all what to watch. American Horror Story. The last season. Watch the last season. They split it into two. It was about the first half of the season is vampires. It's like vampire shit. Y'all gotta watch that. The second half of it is about aliens, and it's about like the United States has a treaty with aliens set back in during Dwight Eisenhower's era. It's trippy. It's trippy because it feels like, are they telling us something without telling us something? You know, are they telling us something without telling us something? That's how that make you feel when you look at that joint on the aliens. So that's how I definitely, it's definitely aliens. Yes, absolutely. Now, how you want to look at it, interpret it, kind of up to you. I think a lot of some of the holy books might have been talking about aliens. So I think what trips us up is the terminology. You know, because alien, if we say alien or extraterrestrial, technically we're just saying it's not of Earth. And if we take that definition of extraterrestrial, hell, your soul is not of Earth. So it's all in how you look at it. Do I believe white people are reptilians, harvesting black people organs? A lot of us are missing. I think, hold on. I don't think white people are just reptilians. I don't think they are like white people as a whole are reptilians, because I think that there's definitely some black people that's reptilians. I think if you don't think that there's some black people that's reptilians, then they got you with the okie doke, with the skin shit, with the race shit, because when I look at it historically, white people got everything that they got from the people that taught them. Alright, if we being real, the people that taught them. So the people that taught them their ways. You dig what I'm saying? So people can be vessels for aliens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some white people might be aliens. Some black people might be aliens. That's what I'm saying. It's all in how you wanna interpret it. You know, how you wanna view it. It's definitely organ harvesting going on. They're definitely killing us. Absolutely, they are killing us though. But I can't just say that it's just white people that's doing it, because it's not that simple, and I don't think we should make it that simple, you know, because we just can't make it that simple, man. Not in my mind, not really. I don't really think so. You know what I'm saying? It's because if we being honest, I believe because they created the whole race construct, right? So the whole race construct of white and black was created in like 1600s maybe. So this whole class thing was created in this manner. So you have some bloodlines, some European bloodlines that literally whitewash themselves to be a part of these classes. And when I look at it like that, I just can't make it that simple, because it's so much more in it. You know what I mean? So I think it's more about bloodlines. It's more about bloodlines, you know? Like, if that makes sense, man. If it makes sense. Yeah, Moors. I mean, yeah, Moors. Let me see. Yeah, the American Horror with Angela Bassett probably was like my favorite one, yo. Besides human forms, yeah, absolutely, not just. That's what I'm saying. I think they can be anybody. So I tell people all the time, yo, discern properly. Please practice discernment no matter who you dealing with, yo. Don't just assume all skin folk are kinfolk, because they are not. All skin folk is not kinfolk. So just because somebody look like you doesn't necessarily mean that they are for you. So keep that in mind, you know. Now, why y'all put my business out there? Talking about who somebody related to. Look, don't be putting my shit out there, oh. Oh, man. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. The pre-colonial American is a rabbit hole that a lot of people probably don't want to go down. You know, that's probably a rabbit hole a lot of people can't take, because a lot of people come out with the triggers when you get to talking about certain things, you know. So I think there are some forms of what we call reptilians, you know. I think that it's both, you know, when I talk about your brain, when I talk about your vibration, your frequency. So, but the history is tricky when you get to really looking into the history, because it's not what they tell you. And if vast majority of humans on Earth can really get that real history, it'll dead a lot of racism. It would dead a lot of racism, but it's the world we live in. Can't change everybody. So what's good, y'all? We're gonna wrap up the live. Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to hop on? What's good? Which topic? Billy Carson. We going in on which topic? Is it the aliens or the reptilians? Which one is it? Like the Greys. Y'all familiar with the Greys? It's the Greys. You know, some people say the Palladians is not our, you know, it's, man, that's what I'm saying. It's all in how you look at it. You know, some people say we the Draconians. Some people say we are the Draconians. Some people think we the Dracars. You know, some people say we the serious people. So that's what I mean when I say we're not all the same. Contrary to popular belief, we're not all the same. We're not all the same. We don't all have the same story. And that's kind of the thing. They've erased our history. So it's like paper genocide. So when you don't know who you are, of course us as a collective, our people are going through a crisis, our identity crisis, because we're trying to find our identity. It's been taken from us. So it is what it is. Oh, the Anunnaki and how we got our races today. Okay, I think I'm gonna look into that. I might look into that. I don't discern portal. I don't know nothing about it, bro. I don't. Some people been saying something about it. I really don't know. I really don't know. I think it's, like I said before, I think they're calling for our cooperation, for our participation, to bring this shit into fruition, because they need us, man. I'm telling you, they need us. We make this shit go. We the batteries. We the people. We the people. Until we realize the power of the people, we'll always be going through what we're going through with the powers that be, because we not ready to accept our own power. It's like it's authority. It's like, remember, government means to govern your mental.
Mom, I don't see your...
Go tell Maya.
Oh.
So that's why I love the fact that I have studied nationality, because I look at sovereignty from a very spiritual standpoint. To say sovereign oneself is to reign over oneself. You know, so as in reign, as in royalty, as in king, queen. So in order to reign over yourself, in order to be a true sovereign, one must be able to govern one's own self. One must be able to govern their own mind. That's not the government ruling you. That's not the planetaries ruling you. That's you being sovereign and being completely responsible for yourself. To me, that's what being sovereign means. And I don't think you can be sovereign on paper without being sovereign spiritually. I don't think it works, because the Moors are the navigators. The Moors have always been the navigators. To navigate is to know the stars. What, babe? Tell Maya or tell Dad. Go ahead. That's to navigate the stars. So to navigate the stars, that's beyond just Earth. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just so much more. My bad, y'all. I lost my train of thought. My baby came in. Okay. I got y'all. CERN, that's right. CERN is like the particle accelerator. I got you. That's right. I got you. So it's some portal shit. But they've been doing this. So, like, okay. I appreciate you providing me with that information. Because I forgot. It's been years since I looked into CERN, yo. They've always done this, though. They're always constantly fucking with portals. This is nothing new. See, I think that the real portals and shit be coming out the water. So I think that's why they be trying to avoid the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there's always portals. I think that, man, see, y'all gonna make me start sounding crazy. I don't want to start talking about too much stuff and I start sounding crazy. Y'all seen Stargate? Have y'all seen Stargate before? There's some portal shit. I believe they have these portals though, yo. Like these ancient ones too. I don't know if they can make them work though. But there has to be portals to other places. It has to be, yo. It just has to be. But they might just get into some. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do though. Because we don't know the effects of it. Because this has happened before. This might be what happened before. This might be what caused cataclysms before. This might be what happened when all the shit went to hell before. Because the earth has seen cataclysms before. We've had Atlantis in the land of Mu. See, all that shit is in occult science. They be talking about that like it's nothing in the occult about the land of Mu and Atlantis and all of that. See, they don't. That's why that's in there, because they don't want you to know that. That's like old world information. That's how I see it. It's like old world information. So because that word is no more, they don't want you really dealing with none of that old information no more. Because that's old technology. All that's old is from a place that's no more. So now that's why everything is coming into the way it's coming into now with the technology they steady trying to build on. I believe they have technology that they still have to roll out, but I think it's still technology missing from those times that they don't have. You feel me? Because that's why we can't build pyramids. You know, it is like some eternal shit when they was there and dude was on some, you know, they was advanced. You can't advance civilization, just like on Star Trek. You can't go to some of these primitive places and advance them too fast. I think all this shit is real. I really do. I really think all this shit is real. That's how I see it. I absolutely do. Now, I don't know what the effects could be of them fucking with it though. You don't really know. You know, see, a lot of these things, when they're choosing particular dates, it has to do with certain celestial alignments. That's how we know this shit go back to the stars. Once again, it go back to the stars. It's all about celestial alignment. Now, see, we get to talking about during the 4th of July. The 4th of July still go back to Kemet. We think it's all about American independence. It ain't. It go back before then. It gotta do with Sirius. It still go back. So it's still something celestial. I tell people, every holy day or holiday that is going on that they have in America, It is aligned with a celestial event. We are no different than it was in the old times. They did the same things. We just call it something different now. We feel better about the words that we use today versus the words that they use in those times. But it's the same. It's the same. You know, yeah, Stargate was that show. And they demonized everything about Egypt. They had to. Bro, listen, they had to. They had to demonize it, yo. And we could talk about what about the real kid. Man, it's so many. Listen, y'all. It's so many holes. It's so many rabbit holes, man. It's so many rabbit holes. It just is. It's all in where you want to go. So me being open, I just share these things. It ain't always about me believing in what I share with y'all, but I share these things because this information might be pivotal for you in your breakthrough. It might be pivotal for you. You think the CERN portal is going to crack the dome? It might. It might. You know, that brings, every time, it makes me think about the Justice League joint. When the dude came back and he, you know, made the dome, the firmament. It might, but I mean, how do we know it's not? We don't already have issues with our dome. Like, it's the way the sun, we don't know, yo. We really don't know. And I think it's okay that we don't know. I think it's okay for us to admit that we don't know. You know, I think that that's a big part of the ego in itself. Is saying, bro, I don't know. But I'm willing to be open enough to say that I definitely don't think it's what they're telling us. How, let me see, bro. What you saying here? Bow, Apophis, and most of the gown were melanated. Yep. The moon might be fake. The moon might be fake. The moon might be a satellite. Y'all remember in Dragon Ball Z though, that he destroyed the moon? Who's saying don't look up? We saw Transformers, Dark of the Moon. What are they trying to tell us about the moon? Huh? What are they trying to tell us about the moon? What are they saying about the moon? Like I said, this whole thing is about you being able to think for yourself. It ain't even really about you believing what I believe. It ain't even about you thinking I'm right or wrong or me thinking you right or wrong. It's literally about you questioning this shit. That's all it's about. You just gotta question this shit. That's it. You just gotta question it. That's it. I don't know. I never seen Star Wars. Weird. I know. I get it all the time. I've never sat down and watched a Star Wars series. As a occultist, I'm embarrassed by this. I'm embarrassed by this, but I have not seen Star Wars. One day I'm gonna sit down and watch them though. I am. One day I'm gonna sit down and watch them. One day I'm gonna sit down and watch Star Wars. Alright. So, Kemet is the oldest documented culture. Yep. But you know, sometimes I wonder about if there's a hiccup, if they played us with Kemet too, man. I wonder if they played us with Kemet too, because I just don't think this is the same world that they were talking about in none of these ancient times. The word that they may have been referring to, I'm not calling the Bible historical, y'all, but in the Bible or, you know, in Kemet, I don't think they were talking about the land or the earth as we know it today. I think it was a completely different world, meaning the land masses themselves were completely different. I don't think it was laid out the way it's laid out with these 7 continents today. I don't think that's how it was. I think this shit was totally different. It might have been all one landmass, and it was some massive cataclysms that separated this shit. Because when you look in that pre-colonial history, pre-America, it's trippy. Somebody lying. Somebody's lying. When you look at old maps, somebody's lying. Somebody lying. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what the lie is. I don't know how big the lie is. But somebody is lying. And when you get comfortable enough in yourself to express your thoughts that this is some bullshit, or I think somebody lying, then you woke up. Ain't no going back. It ain't no going back. That's how it is. But be prepared for people to say all type of things, because that's how they have to discredit. Just the only way they can discredit you. That's the only way they can discredit you. Yep, the Truman Show. The Truman Show was major. Y'all notice in the Truman Show that right when he woke up like that, he was going through his Saturn return. Y'all notice that? His brother was going through his Saturn return. He was like 29 years old. So he went through his Saturn return. It was time for him to grow up. It was time for him to become an adult. It was time for him to transition. So it was time for him to leave that damn show. Well, all this shit is like, they be telling us. They be telling us. See, that's why I be like, man, I'd rather just go put some movies out there or something, or do something like that, so I can contribute to spreading the message. You know, we are intricately a microcosm of the macro universe outside. Then how can any of it be fake? Now, what we've taught by the Western side has been correct and full of lies. Yep, absolutely, man, absolutely. Now, as far as China, I heard they found like some super old pipes, like over 100,000 years old or something like that in China somewhere. China been on. Then you remember? Did y'all see the thing with the disappearing city? I think that was like another universe or some shit. Like, see what? It's wild out here, and I think they do a very good job filtering the information that we get here in the States. I don't think we get access to a lot of the same news and stuff that go on in other countries. Like that's more suspicious and more obvious of the agenda. I think they do a very good job of keeping this a very illusioned over here in America. This is the land of milk and honey. This is the land of illusion. This is the place where everybody wants to be, where the massive illusion and deception is. It's America. Well, I mean, honestly, as far as why can't we start our own, we have though. See, that's what I mean. We did it for a long time. You gotta think about it, for a long time. We was here for a long time before there was any other peoples on the earth. For a long time. I know they don't tell us this, but we was here chilling. We did our own thing for a long time, and that's why we slowly digressed, fell into a hibernation. It said that we digressed, fell into a hibernation, and basically pretty much degraded. It's like the fall. So when they talk about the angels that fell from heaven, it's kind of symbolic to talking about the fall of man. That's how far man has fallen into his gross matter state. So it's supposed to be symbolic to the story of your fall. So you falling out of your consciousness, falling more into this physical. So you falling lower and lower. Remember, in science, gross matter is slower. Matter is slowed down. So the faster it is, you can't see. It's like the speed of light. You know, you can't see that. But you slow matter down, it becomes gross, meaning material. So the ancients was against the physical. You feel me? So the physical was bad. So in that sense, what's up? So in that sense, when you looking at it like that, then you can understand the Gnostics and why everything they was talking about with thoughts being bad, because that was the ultimate evil. Because you coming out of spirit, you coming out of being a boundless, limitless spirit into this physical vessel. It's on some inception shit. Look, some videos that come from China. I got what's that? Oh, yes, the Avatar movie. Yes, it was. It absolutely was. It absolutely was about, yes, it was. Avatar. I feel like that's them telling us how our whole conquer, our whole fall right there. As indigenous people, I feel like that's about us. Avatar, that's what happened. Down to the trees, the way the tree was, how they was connected to the tree. Y'all ever seen that big petrified stump tree that looked like a giant tree that was cut? Yep, they got 2-3 avatars coming out. I'm gonna have to go back and revisit and do a like official breakdown of Avatar.
Yeah, 4.
Yep, I am a mama 4. Like you said, 4. We got 4. We got 4 babies. The tree of life. Yep. So, you know, and looking into Kabbalah, that teaches you about reality. You know, when you get into the whole Hebrew, Jewish mysticism, it really breaks down reality. breaks down a lot of reality. What you doing, man? You know he be doing pull-ups on this thing.
He was just doing it.
Yes, I know, man. That's what he be doing. He come in here and do pull-ups on this thing. But anyway, man, I've been on with y'all for a minute. I'm about to get off. It's getting late, and my baby's still up, so I'm about to hop off. Y'all check out the Doctor Strange video. It'll be ready in an hour. It's gonna be on the channel in an hour, so I'm gonna share it to the story. I'm gonna share it to the page. And just let me know what type of shows, movies y'all watch, what y'all want to break down. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this whole series. You know, we're gonna keep with the movies and the TV shows. We're gonna keep with that. Out of dark, I didn't know that. Yeah, you know it's a strong agenda to whitewash everything. You know, most people don't think it was black people in the. Most people do not think it was no black people, like, you know, in Europe. They don't think it was like. They don't think it was no black people in here, because I know I was looking at Lord of the Rings. I was like, dang, why are there no black people in here? Ain't no black extras, nobody. The only thing that looked like they might have been the black people was the damn things that was after them. And it's like I say,
you know,
that's part of the brainwash, is to make you correlate European with white. They want you to correlate Europe with white, not realizing that most of your early Europeans, your first Europeans, was melanated peoples. Read Benjamin Franklin when he went to these different places, was like, damn, these people are swarthy. They're tawny. These are words of description for melanated people.
Sorry, Mark, both of y'all get up.
History has been extremely whitewashed. Even when you look at people in Asia, there are melanated peoples in Asia. Everybody doesn't look like a pale Asian person. There's peoples in Asia that's melanated. You know what I'm saying? The indigenous people of Australia, they're melanated. You know, out of Africa is a theory. You know, it's a theory. You know, in reality, melanated people originated all over the globe, but they just want to take you and compact you to sub-Saharan Africa. They just want to put you in that one place when you was all over the whole entire planet. So it be bothering me sometimes when y'all be like, stuff be white people shit, because it doesn't make sense. Nothing can be white people shit. Nothing can be white people shit. And ain't no, not to say white people can't deal in these things. None of it is white people shit, because all of it originated with melanated people. They taught them people that. Now, a lot of people are mad with the Moors and do feel like the Moors are the mortal enemies and all of that. But I will say, man, depending on how you look at it, that shit is, they was acting off of prophecy. Now, I'm not saying that makes it right, but they was acting off of the fact that this was always going to be what was going to occur. So they had to give the knowledge to somebody so that we could still have it. Now, that's if you look at it that way. Now, there's some aspects to look at that maybe some group of people that came from another place and came and took this shit over. It's all in how you want to look at it. All in like some alien, it's all in how you want to look at it. But the key is, like I tell you,
that's them,
just be
that's them
open.
Too. How many of them feel like we had like huge ass trees all over the planet too?
What, with the big trees?
Yeah.
Are y'all familiar with the big trees? And like with the giants, how we feeling about giants, human giants? Like, it's so many things we could get into, y'all. Y'all just gotta let me know, man. It's so many things we could talk about. It's so many things we could talk about. We could talk about stargazing pearls.
Somebody is talking about
CERN. I hit on CERN a little bit already, but they've been doing this. They've been trying to open portals. That's Stranger Things. Look at Stranger Things. The girl opened the portal with her mind, yo. So what we learned from season 4 was originally that portal opened with her mind, cause your mind is a quantum computer. Your mind can quantum jump, do all this shit. She opened that shit with her mind. They using that CERN or that particle accelerator trying to reopen the portal. They can't even open the portal the way she opened the portal with her own mind. But they've been doing this. They've been doing this portal shit. They've been trying to do it. They've been trying to do it. They've been trying, yo. This whole Stargate thing, all of this, I think all of it. I think all of that is some for real, for real. I think they're playing with something that they might not fully understand. Like I said, which could lead to cataclysmic activity. That's what happened according to the human history story before. We got too big, got too much caught up in this technology shit, made some bad shit, and it
fucked us up.
Everything up. If you want to look at it like that, the story of Atlantis. But you know, there's it's all in how you want to look at it. But I absolutely think these people be trying to open a portal. I don't know where they trying to go though. I don't know where they trying to go. I don't know where they trying to go, cause the diabolical motherfuckers, whoever really is like your real evil motherfucker, they don't have no soul. I don't know where they going. That's why I think they trying to do this transference shit. Why they trying to transcend consciousness, and why they want to say that you in some years people won't have to die. You can just keep your consciousness. Watch Upload on Prime. Please watch Upload. That's why I think they're trying to do this. It's like trying to create their own spirit realm. Yo, watch this shit. Watch it. It's like they literally and literally, but it's really built like a Matrix, yo. They built the afterworld spirit realm like the fucking Matrix. You die living in the afterworld and you still paying. You're paying to still live there. Yo, you gotta watch it. I promise this shit is like this Matrix. Because if we looking at it like we came here in this simulation as our soul for soul growth to grow and all of these things, it's really jacked up that we gotta come here and do basic shit just to live and survive. That ain't what we was initially supposed to come here to do. You feel me? So it's like a hijack. It's more been hijacked. So your Ready Player Ones and all of that, hey, that's really looking like a real thing. But he put his consciousness into a computer. And see, if you notice, whenever they show transcending consciousness, they always want to take out humanity. You notice this? They always want to kill humanity. Why? Because they always say humanity is the problem. Every single time. Look at every movie with AI and it advances itself. Look at iRobot. Look at Transcendence. Look at all of them. Terminator. All of them.
Yeah, all we do is
they do. Listen, they be like, yo, humans are a fucking problem. Get these humans out of here. It's humanity. It's humanity. It's humans. Look at Ultron. Age of Ultron. It's humans. Ultron went on live for 5 minutes. Said, yo, these niggas the problem, yo. They the problem, yo. Let's just get rid of all this. I mean, not saying that he was right, but that's what transcending will have you thinking, because you leaving your humanity. That's what you do. The higher you go spiritually, you leaving humanity, because that's why so many things can happen and we not understand. That's what they mean when they be like, you can't understand what God's playing. That's why, because it's spiritual. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing human. It ain't got nothing to do with what you feel like is right, what you feel like it don't have nothing to do with none of that. Spirit don't work like that. It don't work like that. See, the mere fact that we give all these things human characteristics be the problem. It be the problem. Infinite. Yes, I loved Infinite. That's why dude wanted to kill everybody. He was like, I'm tired of reincarnating. Kill this shit. I'm tired of this. And he was the black dude. Why was he the black dude? See, why does it have to be the black dude? Because he represents the original, bro. And he remembered every time he came back, he remembered. He was like, I'm tired of going through this. It was like representing you, understanding your soul from a soul perspective. Think about a soul now. From a soul perspective, he going through repeated incarnation, repeated. He said, I remember every time, and it was painful. And he was like, I just want everybody to be done, this shit to just end, so I ain't got to come back here no more. That's how you can go just total dark with the knowledge, because you can get to an understanding where it's just like, well, fuck humanity. That now you might be out of balance. That's a out of balance, but the concept of where he was coming from a Gnostic standpoint, bro, was on time with what he was talking about. You know? And it's like he said in there, he was like, when they was trying to tell him, like he was mad old and wasn't aware. He was supposed to be aware of who he was. He was mad. He was a whole adult out here living a regular life. And what he said? He said, where I come from, I don't have time to think about nothing like this. Why? Because the nigga stuck in the root. It's all about survival. Once you get into adulthood, you just hitting certain places. It's all becoming about what. It's all about that base root chakra. And I just, I hate when people, I hate when people demote down to this low level, man. But I understand, and I'm not mad at people, but I get it. And that's probably why a lot of people was like, they couldn't even grasp what I was trying to say about that time post, because they mind just admit it can't elevate. All they could think about was, well, how I'm gonna work. When they took that, yep. Right now, I think I'm too dark. I was like that for a while. I just came out my darkness. I feel like I just came out my darkness when I left off, and I rebooted my page, and I feel like that was me coming out of my darkness. It's easy for it to get a hold on you. Like the dark hole is real easy. It's real easy because
like
it's addicting,
you
yo.
had to make a break though when you did that. Like it's like you separated from your mother kind of.
I kind of did. I went through a personal situation at that very same time that brought me out of that as well. So I went through something with my mom. We had a conversation. It was a bad conversation. It was horrible. It was terrible, but it was necessary. It was necessary. It was painful. It was hurtful, but it was necessary because it was exactly what I needed to hear to do exactly what I needed to do. Even though that shit was hurtful as hell, but it was what I needed to hear, so I could move on for me. So you gotta flip your pain. You gotta take it. You gotta transmute that shit. Like, that's one thing. That is one thing that I love about artists, because they do it. See, some people are more. Their talents aren't latent. Some people, their talents are right on the surface, and it's right there for them. You know, they don't have to work hard to figure out what their talent is. But one thing I love about artists, or at least the artists that I like, is that transmutation. Music is so powerful. I understand why they connect Lucifer to music, and why they make musicians and music so evil in the eye when you're dealing with church, secularity, religion. I understand, because it's a gateway and it's a path straight to your darkness. And they don't really want that. But I admire that about artists, being able to transmute that pain into something more. Taking something that you've been through and using that to create something else entirely that's beautiful. That's literally the definition of art. So to take a horrible situation, that's just like Chris Rock. Let's talk Chris Rock, right? So Chris Rock having mental illness issues, social issues, being bullied, all that in his childhood, all that pain in his childhood. He took that and made it into a TV show. One of the best shows on TV. That's alchemy. That's transmutation. That's taking your pain, taking your experience as a human, and turning it into something beautiful. That's powerful to me. You know, that's a powerful thing. Art is so powerful. And that's why I love about artists, about any type of art. Now mind you, we're all creative artists in our own way. We don't have to all be discovered on some major platform to be an artist. You get what I'm saying? But alchemy is major for me, you know. So I admire that. Wherever I can see that, that's inspirational to me. That's empowering to me, because it's just a reminder that it can be done, you know. But you gotta take that pain, you gotta take that hurt, and you gotta let it transform you. So you might just be in your cocoon phase. It's a lonely, hurtful, painful, and dark phase when you in that cocoon. That's because you getting ready to blossom out. But it's necessary. It's just a part of the process. See, it's like it's like going through a hermit phase. It's like going through a gestation period. You know, there's a period when you plant a seed that you don't see nothing. That it has to grow out of that darkness. So it grows out of the darkness towards the light. That's the symbolism in plants. That's the symbolism in growing. That's the symbolism in farming. That's what we're supposed to learn spiritually through farming. So when you going through these things, man, it's just necessary for your journey. You know, you're going to come out of it when you're supposed to come out of it. Sometimes you supposed to have a block. Sometimes a block is divinely timed. Because that's the time you supposed to be blocked. Because there's something that you're supposed to go through at that moment in time that's going to mold you. See, we go through cycles. That's what the stars do represent. When there's cycles, you know, Saturn come back every 27 years. Or, you know, there's different cycles for you. There's different phases for you. That's what they're supposed to teach you. You know, those celestial bodies are symbolic to your own self. You know? So that too, they had all the kids with ability. Yep, they had all the kids with their abilities. Was talking about a spectrum where there's some of us at the low end, some at the high. Yep. See, remember, the dude in Unbreakable, he went decades without realizing he had power. He didn't realize that he couldn't be harmed. You see, he had to be, the villain had to be made. See, the best thing I love about that whole trilogy is they honored the villain. They really honored the villain because they showed you, I'm not going to say villain, they showed you what a true adversarial ally is. Because Glass made both of them. Really, he made both of them. He made Dunn, the hero, and he made the Beast. But the Beast was made out of circumstances. You see, the Beast was made only to protect the boy. It was his own. That really in itself was a superpower, even though it's demonized. That shit was a superpower. It shows you the power of your mind to be able to create a whole nother version of yourself, entity of yourself. And I know it's mental illness. Don't get me wrong. But in a sense, that shit is a superpower, yo. It's a superpower in a sense. I'm talking about, in this, right now I'm talking about Split and Glass. You know, the Unbreakable, they came out like 20 years ago, and then they did Split, and then they did Mr. Glass. Fear Street was good, bro. I like Fear Street, parts 1 through 3. I like that joint too. But it's like what I said about Jason. See, the thing about, you know, Jason, Friday the 13th. They so afraid of 13. 13 is not a bad number. It's connected to our sciences, you know. But see, with Jason, the original killer was his mother. Because the original destroyer is the divine mother. It's the divine feminine. You can't do nothing with that energy, man. That shit will destroy you. That's why when you see movies, a lot of times, with like an ultimate enemy, it be a woman. When they come and they bring a woman as the ultimate end all be all, just like in Supernatural, when they brought Lilith, like or the darkness, like to combat against God, they be telling us what's going on, yo. They really are telling us. You know, they're really speaking in occult language. It's just the same story that's always been told. And yes, mental illness can be. That's why they put them people in. That's why they have to medicate them. Like, if you talk to people that been in there, them people, you don't know what them people are really seeing. Yeah, we think they crazy, but you really don't know what them people are really seeing. You don't really know what they're really perceiving, yo. You don't really know. I think autism is evolution. They showed us that in Predator. They showed us that in Predator. When they came and he was saying they wanted the next advanced genetic DNA from humans, and they wanted the man's son because he was autistic. Yeah, because they're different. They're gonna change. They're gonna change the world. That's how you already know. We don't really have to do nothing for this shit to change. You see what I'm saying? Like kids are being born that's just totally abhorrently different. They're totally different. They operate and function totally different. More and more kids are being born autistic. More and more of them are being born on a spectrum. And you know, we can look at it like, oh, it's a generational thing, or yeah, because it cycles in humanity, in human consciousness. See, we coming out of Kali Yuga. We actually coming out of the dark phase. We supposed to be on our way up. Well, back up, that is. All religions can't be right. Religion is interpretation of universal truth. You said all religions can't be. Well, I mean, I think they all have pieces. I think they're just pieces. It's like, you know how you ever seen, you know how you want to hide something and you break it up and put different pieces in different places? I think that's what they did with religion and just kept it superficial. Never gave you no metaphysical meaning. Because then it's just at a level of dogma. Because then people are just blindly following because you have to. Now remember, you coming out of a time, remember during the Christian Crusaders, now remember, they plunged and ravaged and pillaged lands in the name of their religion. So one of the main things that you do when you conquer people is you take away their religion. So for a long time, we've only had what was predominantly given to us by those who conquered us, quite naturally. And so, and what I notice is, if you look at if we just look at the history that they give, right? Let's just look at the history that they give. That's out there. At the hold on a second, y'all. Okay. So if you look at like the information that they give, you notice a lot of the information that started to come into Europe, that the Europeans started to get a hold of, their secret organizations, right? They got it from Muslims. So you looking at a time, right? That's where they got it from. They got it from the Muslims, which was the Moors. Yo, watch Kingsman. It explains it to you in Kingsman. It shows it to you. It don't tell you. It don't give you the dialogue. But it shows you in Kingsman, yo. It really breaks that shit down in Kingsman. I'm going to put the link in my story of that breakdown for y'all, so y'all can check that out. Heard the MRIs of Russian roulette injection that causes autism. I wouldn't doubt it because it's playing with your DNA. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's altering your DNA. Now, they saying, now here's the thing. I also believe that we can alter our DNA too. I believe that we can alter our DNA. Absolutely. I believe the sun can alter our DNA. I think that food can alter our DNA. I think that our thoughts can alter our DNA. I think all these things can alternate our DNA. Absolutely. I don't think just, they may have a science or a means of doing it that they've told us about, but I think we can do these things too. I absolutely think we can do these things too. I think that when you experiencing certain things, certain spiritual downloads, it has something to do with your DNA. That's why I said a lot of this has to do with bloodlines, yo. I don't think a woman is the ultimate evil. I don't think that either, bro. I don't think it's that in that sense. I think it's a terminology thing. When we say destruction, I think it's in an understanding of what the energy is, right? So in order to create something, you have to destroy it. Or it's like energy is neither really created nor destroyed. So it has to go somewhere. So the feminine energy has the ability to destroy, so it can be born again. So I don't think that it is evil, but it's not evil in what they teach us evil is. See, they teach us evil in a sense of the devil, Satan, morally bad. But what's really evil is shit that destroys the system. If that shit destroys the system, it's evil. Like, think about what I'm saying. Like, just think on what I'm saying. If you have a system in place that's oppressing people, that's feeding you power, that's doing all these things for you, some shit that's gonna come and destroy that for you is what you against. That's your opposition. Regardless of your stand on, that's in opposition to you. So depending on where you at, it's gonna depend on if you think it's good or bad. So it's relative. You dig what I'm saying? It's relative. But evil, in a sense, is just shit that destroys the system. Shit that makes you anything like that is evil. That's the kicker. The devil is quite literally and figuratively a lie. Understand what I'm saying? That shit is a lie. It's not to say that it don't exist. Listen to what I'm telling you now. Listen to this shit now. The devil is a lie. We say this all the time. That shit is real. In a sense, the devil is really a lie, because it's a lie to keep you from crossing over into dealing with these sciences that's gonna destroy the fucking system. They don't want you to destroy it. Understand what I'm saying? If you get a hold of some shit that's gonna make you turn against the system, do you think they want you to have it? No. That shit is evil. You understand? You dig what I'm saying? That shit is evil. That's why everything they gotta show you relating to your dark signs got to be evil. It don't matter about good or bad.
Got to off.
What?
Got to go off.
I know. Go tell them. It scared you, baby. That's evil. You dig me? Please understand. Listen to me. They want y'all scared, because as long as you scared, fear is the only thing that's gonna ever hold you back. And that fear itself is an illusion. It should only exist in your mind, because they need your mind. They need your mind. So they have to keep you scared. Think about it. Look at how many people got that job because they were scared. Scared they was going to lose their job. Or scared they was going to get sick. Or scared they was... Think about it. Fear is a mechanism of control that's greater than no other. I promise you, listen to what I'm telling you. Because you can look into all this. It's not that... It's scary, but it ain't. Because when you look at it, you like, this ain't even what they was talking about like this. But that shit is empowering. It gives you so much power, yo. It gives you so much power. You can't have power. Because if you have power... Listen, if enough of us get power... Lucifer got kicked out of heaven's post for questioning God. You know, Lucifer is synonymous with, like, Prometheus. Now, if we look at Prometheus Prometheus stole the fire or the divine spark or the eternal flame and gave it to man, and was penalized for that shit. That's Lucifer. And you know, and we say Lucifer, son of the morning star, but you go to the book of Revelation and Jesus say he the morning star. Cause it's deeper than that. Cause they playing games. They playing games, man. They playing games. Who taught who? Who taught who? The people getting their information from? Who you talking about?
Yay!
As long as we interpret our reality by their concept or word definition, exactly. We need to redefine those words. Exactly, bro. Exactly. We need to redefine those words. That's why I do what I do. That's why I push. That's why I push the whole devil Satan thing. That's why I push it. I know it makes people uncomfortable, and I know a lot of people don't like it. But yo, it has to be done. It has to be done. And if people really, really want to mentally get free, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. That's just how I see it. So it is uncomfortable, but that shit is liberating. Like, you free. You are free. But it's scary because it's programming us about hell, not realizing we already in hell. You know, or we programmed to believe in heaven, not realizing we can already have heaven, but we waiting to die to get to heaven. But you know, that's just how it is. Who taught the people that's teaching the people that's teaching you? What you mean, bro? Man, say what you need to say, man. Serpent seed doctrine. But your perception is everything. What's that Bobby Hemming say? One man's devil is another man's God. Perception is God. However you perceive it, it's how it's going to be for you. Well, I mean, we trying to other things we have no idea about. That's why you just have to be open. See, that's why I say I'm not definitively saying this is the answer. I think the real true answer is to question. It's to question the powers that be. It's to question the authority. It's to question the indoctrination. I think just opening your mind so you can get past the fear is enough. I think that's enough, bro. Because I think that we are, if the kingdom is within, if we projecting all this shit out, then it got to do with you. That's how I see it. You know, but that's just me. Yeah, you don't. It ain't really like learning. It is kind of like remembering. Because sometimes And this for me, you come across certain things, some things resonate and some don't. I don't really feel that. That's cool. Move on to something. That's how it is. But I feel like that's initiation for us in modern times. I think the way we having to decipher through this information today in modern times is literally modern initiation, because we don't have no mystery system. There's no mystery system for us to go through. I mean, yeah, you can go be a Mason or something like that, but it's not in that anymore. It's not in that anymore. It's literally for you to uncover. We in the age of Aquarius, is literally for you to seek and find. So now we're just flooded with all types of information. That's why I think it's important to be in tune with yourself, so you can get what resonate with you. Because if you steady looking out, it's gonna be easy for somebody to manipulate you, and you end up just following. And you just follow. You're not supposed to follow nobody. I don't want nobody following me. Only place I need you to follow me is just to your own self. And whatever it is that's for you, do what's for you. But it's in you. That's why we got to meditate. That's why we got to be more in tune with self, so we can hear. So we can hear from within what it is we supposed to do. You know?
Feel you, Lord. Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all. I do. Who? Lord?
Yes.
Where?
She said,
Well,
I don't know. I wonder why it's not showing up.
well, you know, they just popping up randomly.
Right here. See?
Oh, I appreciate you, Lord. Yes, y'all please show some love to my Cash App. Y'all show some love to my Cash App. I appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you, Lord.
We do realize that I am you and you. Exactly. You realize we all connected. And we all like a part of the same dream. We all out here just co-creating. And it's so big. Listen, it's so easy to be addicted to that anger. That's the darkness. That anger is so addicting, yo. It's so easy to be mad, to see the negative side. It's so easy to do that. But if you can ascend, and if you can see that shit from a higher place, then you're gonna be able to download and interpret and receive more higher truths. But it's hard to get higher truths when you down here. You know? Check out all religions, yep, prior to Christianity. What I recommend people who grew up in Christianity, Gnostic is the opposite. I mean, I wouldn't say your opposite. It's the other side of it. That's the hidden side of it. Gnosticism is where a lot of the Christian books come from. You know, those Christian books come from Gnosticism. That's what was pre-Christian. You know. Appreciate you. Janubian beaded jewels. And y'all check the sister out. I know she made jewelry. I don't know if she do jewelry at the moment, but you know, sis made some good jewels. Yeah, Haywood's where they got Jesus from. You know, it's also an American version of that in Quasicoda. Like it's all in how you want to look at it, man. You know, and that's why I say, depending on where you from, depending on your culture, it's gonna say a lot. It's gonna say a lot. So me growing up in the South, you know, I grew up Southern Baptist. You know, I grew up like in the church, so with Bible. So a lot of things that I learned from Gnosticism and Kabbalah made everything about it more useful to me. See, it wasn't useful to me the way I got it, but once I got the metaphysical concepts, it became more useful to me. So if you have a Bible, if you look into the Bible, you want to know the magic of the Bible, don't read the Bible without the metaphysical Bible dictionary. Look up every single thing that you read in that Bible in that metaphysical Bible dictionary, because it's going to tell you metaphysically what it's referring to. Even places, even people, because sometimes a person represents a whole people. Sometimes a place represents a whole concept. Like, it's deep like that. So it's just about being more open, I think. You know what I'm saying? Kabbalah is serious, man. Kabbalah is serious, man. Like, it opened up so many doors for me, because I was a Christian. So I don't know about y'all, but I genuinely would ask questions. You know, like, I wanted to know, like, is this for real? Or how is this and this? So when I got to a certain age, some answers just it was no longer acceptable. Yep, ancient Sumerians, the Mayans, and the Aztecs. Yes. Our elevation is much easier when we are able to turn the television and other forms of media off. That's absolutely true. Egypt, Liberate. Yep. Y'all own it. I appreciate y'all. Jewish mysticism and other books. Yes. Yep. So the energy report that I do comes out of Jewish mysticism. It comes out of numerology based around the science of the numbers of your name. And so when I look at the reason why I do a lot of readings around Hebrew, Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism is because that's the best way for me to look at the format, the way the material universe is formatted, it's the way it's formed. So it makes the most sense for me. So when I look at tarot cards, when I look at astrology, when I look at numerology, when I look at Hebrew, they all are the same. Like all of them. So they're all connected to these things. So in my mind, these are all the tools that's simply just trying to help me become more aware about myself. The Bible is exactly that. It's a book of spells. Not only that, I kind of feel like though the people are under a spell. I feel like we are under a spell though. Like the normal, everyday, regular people that can't see beyond, like it's a spell because they just gloss over certain. That cognitive dissonance is so mind-boggling. It's like, how does that work? But it is what it is. Yep, mysticism, esoteric. Yep, words are spells, spelling words. So it's like, why they teach us spelling and cursive writing? Spell doing, all of these things. And when you spell, look at when people do spelling bees, or when you spell a word, the tone, the frequency, all of these things. Our tonsils, our appendix, these things have to do with the vibrations, the way we used to speak that we no longer speak no more. It's a lot. But I appreciate y'all for being on with me this late night. The YouTube video gonna be up in like 20 minutes now, so we've been on for a good little minute. I appreciate y'all for hopping on the live. I appreciate all the followers. Thank y'all so much for the 10,000 followers. Thank y'all for all the shares. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all of it. I'm gonna keep giving it to y'all. Just keep giving it. But I absolutely appreciate all of y'all. Hit me up if you have something you want to talk about, y'all want to discuss. Anybody want to do a show? Anybody want to do a podcast? You want to have a discussion? I'm available. So just let me know, guys. And my husband, he available too, y'all. I'm trying to get him more comfortable in the camera. He really the number genius. He the numbers guy. He the number man. He do the numbers. He do them numbers like it's nothing for nobody, but I'm working on him, getting him into the camera. The word Sankafa. The word Sankafa. Ain't Sankafa is like bringing back to. It's like unity, getting back to your roots. I believe it's something like that. On a new Hidden Color segment, they release another one. Maybe, I don't know. I remember when Tariq did the first one, man. We contributed to the first one. I think we contributed to our names are like in the credits. Of like the first one when he did the first one. So, but yeah,
I almost got on the second one too, because the people remember the dude in Cumberland Mall.
Yeah. But a lot of them is my peoples, man. A lot of them is my peoples. I appreciate all them people on my journey. Kaba Kameen, Eileen Bay, Sabir Bay. I mean, all them peoples, man. Everybody's been vital on my journey, even if I don't agree with everybody on what they do, like I learned a lot from a lot of those people, and I appreciate a lot of them people who opened up to us and like, really put us on game. So
we done sat down in Eileen Bay house several times. Yeah,
so Eileen Bay has always been a real one. I definitely appreciate Eileen because he brought a lot of, as the more science was clutch and was vital, teaching me the occult and understanding the religion, like the true meaning behind Christianity. It was a lot in it, Get your ancestors. Absolutely, never forget your ancestors. Absolutely. So I appreciate y'all, but that's it for now. So I'm gonna holler at y'all another time. Peace.